battling with acrophobia every day has worn me out. I'm gonna need a vacation from my vacation. The one time I decided to take some days off from Super, and all of it has been work, work, work.
I know. I'm sorry. I guess the battle of good versus evil does not take a vacation. However, I do wish that the place you had picked for vacation was one with, like, so many less people and not so many tall rides.
Oh, come on. You haven't ridden anything else tall yet. Plus, I'm just trying to help you face your fears. Then you can stand strong with me.
You know, even superheroes have weaknesses. In fact, at the beginning of the Superman comics, we find out that his weakness is kryptonite. But apparently, strengths and weaknesses are not anything we need to worry about right now because acrophobia isn't anywhere to be seen. I think he might be taking a day off. Or maybe you defeated him and he's decided to stay away from Epic World forever. That means we can do whatever we want today. We could start by getting a funnel cake. Yum, my favorite. Ooh, we could ride the mine train and the bumper cars. And after that, I'll be hungry again. So we could have some more ice cream. We could have all sorts of other snacks.
Whoa. Slow down, Sid. Who needs to eat that many snacks in such a short amount of time?
I love snacks. In fact, I have one right here in my pack. Wait, what's wrong? What's wrong? Do you see acrophobia? Is it spiders? Is it a roller coaster? The tallest roller coaster? Is it a roller coaster? Tell me! A pumpkin? A pumpkin? It's just my snacks. What's wrong with this?
No, it's just tiny food. Ah, you have another one.
Okay, let me throw it in the trash.
No, it is still there. I still see it.
Look, you're the clock. Why don't you just pause time and we can go somewhere else where there isn't tiny food?
I can't. My fear of the tiny food makes me lose my ability to use my superpowers. I'm sorry, I wanted to make you face your fears earlier. Facing your fear is terrible! How did acrophobia find out my weakness is tiny food? Did someone at Super tell him? Oh no, does that mean we have a super spy? Someone who's actually a villain but works for the heroes to steal all of our secrets? Did you tell him?
What? No, I didn't even know that was your weakness until like 2 minutes ago. I think you're overreacting. Just because acrophobia found out about your weakness doesn't mean that the people at Super are trying to destroy you.
You think the other heroes at Super are trying to destroy me?
You're being so ridiculous. I mean, Captain America, if he were in this situation, he would use a shield made of adamantium to deflect all the attacks from the enemy, just like he deflected Loki's attacks from the Avengers.
But I don't have a shield like that right now. I'm sorry, Sid. I just don't know what to believe anymore. Acrophobia wins. I can't do this.
Here, let me help you. Okay. I'm here for you. We just need to figure out what to do. I'm not letting acrophobia ruin our vacation. What is with this tiny food? Maybe Iris knows something about another piece of the armor of God that can help us right now. Let's see. Iris?
Of course I do, Sid. There's a piece of the armor of God called the Shield of Faith. It helps defend our weak areas and gives us faith when we have questions or don't know what to believe. I'm sending a rescue package your way. You should be receiving it in a few minutes. Also, let me patch you through to Undercover Reggie. He knows exactly how to use the Shield of Faith.
Psst. Hey guys, Undercover Reggie here. Iris told me that acrophobia discovered the clock's weakness, fear of tiny foods. Well, never fear. The Shield of Faith will solve this problem. God's people, the Israelites, had a weakness. they had a really hard time believing and trusting in God's promises, and they let fear get in the way of the good things God had for them. You see, there was a land that God promised to give them. The Israelites had never been there before, so Moses, their leader, sent Joshua, Caleb, and 10 other men into the land to check it out. Once the men got into the promised land, they couldn't believe their eyes. This place was the best thing they had ever seen. They saw that there were grapes so large that it took 2 of them to carry just 1 branch. The land was so perfect, they said it was flowing with milk and honey. They loved all that they were seeing, except there was one tiny problem. There were some really tall and powerful people living there. Well, the 12 men went back to Moses to tell him what they saw. 10 of the men told Moses that the land was great, but warned him, saying things like, "We can't attack those people. They are more powerful than we are. We look like grasshoppers compared to them." The other 2 men, Joshua and Caleb, told Moses about all of the great things in the land. They had faith and believed that because God had promised them the land, it would be theirs. They used their faith in God like a shield and told everyone they shouldn't be afraid because God was with them. When the Israelites heard the report, they let their weakness of fear take over. They decided not to go into the land. Because of this, the Israelites wandered for another 40 years in the desert. God decided once again to bring them to the promised land and allowed them to enter this time. Joshua and Caleb had faith and never stopped trusting God. They were able to live in the perfect land that God promised. When we have faith and trust God, we use the shield of faith from God's armor to overcome our weaknesses. When we suit up with the shield of faith, we can stand against any fear and save the day.
You know what, Sid? I may not like tiny food, but it doesn't have to be my weakness. I realized after what Undercover Reggie said that I don't have to be afraid of it.
That's right. And look, this must be the rescue package that Iris was talking about. I wonder what's inside.
I don't know what could be in there. It could be tiny food, but I'm gonna have some faith that it will help us.
It's just a spray bottle. And the bottle says stretch shield?
Ooh, really? Ooh, yes. Iris always knows what to do in every situation.
Would you like to explain who is Stretch and why does that person think that this spray bottle can be used as a shield? I don't think it would be very effective.
Stretch is one of the other superheroes at Super. He used to be a chemistry teacher at a local school, but when one of his experiments gave him the ability to stretch and grow as tall as he needed, he became a superhero on the side. He uses this spray as a shield to defeat the enemy. When he stretches, he becomes bigger and acts as a shield for the weak areas behind him. That's how he saves people every day.
Well, what are you waiting for? Spray away.
Takes a few seconds to work. And for fun. But as soon as it does, the food will return to normal size. It's working! It's working! The spray must have worked really well because all of you look like normal-sized kids too.
Look how normal that food is. You don't have to be afraid anymore. That's amazing.
It's time to save the day.
Wait. Instead of pausing this time, why don't you let me come with you?
Oh, all right.
Okay, let's go.
Well, we certainly fixed that vending machine. Fix is one way to put it. And let's just say that Acrophobia's little invention won't be making tiny food anymore.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. Because now we can get back to our day of doing whatever we want. And I want snacks, and I want them to be giant, not tiny. So let's go.
Wait, let me say bye to our friends first. Hi friends, today we learned about the next piece of armor in God's armor, the shield of faith. The more faith we have in our Lord, the less likely we are to be hurt when the enemy attacks. It is also important to remember that our God is always faithful to us. When we take up the shield, we don't do it through our own strength, but through God's strength. So think of some ways this week that you can take up your shield of faith. We'll see you next week.